Google's AI disruption in retail SaaS. As Google makes public its ambitions to be a shopping concierge with its new AI mode, the move is set to disrupt the businesses of retail SaaS firms building basic storefronts, comparison tools, plug-and-play checkout layers, and AR/VR tools, among others. Further, if your startup helps D2C brands get discovered in search, Google can now do it as part of their AI mode itself. We believe this move will accelerate feature commoditization across niche AR and storefront startups, forcing them to either integrate, specialize, or risk obsolescence. Sanchit Gogia, Chief Analyst and CEO, Greyhound Research, said, "Vertical SaaS vendors could be impacted, and social discovery platforms, such as Instagram, could see attention migrating to Google's multimodal environment." He adds, but Gogia warns that consumer brands must now treat AI as a central operating system to reduce business risk. As quoted in the Hindu Business Line, in an article authored by Sindha Hariharan published on May 25, 2025. Beyond the media quote, our view in full. Press for time? You can focus solely on the Greyhound flashpoints that follow. Each one distills the full analysis into a sharp, executive-ready takeaway, combining our official standpoint, validated through pulse data from ongoing CXO trackers, and grounded in field notes from real-world advisory engagements. Google's virtual try-on push, what it means for retail startups. Greyhound Flashpoint. Google's updated virtual try-on experience signals a broader platform shift from passive browsing to immersive discovery. According to Greyhound Digital Pulse 2025, 66% of e-commerce tech leaders globally have identified visual personalization as a strategic priority. At Greyhound Research, we believe this move will accelerate feature commoditization across niche AR and storefront startups, forcing them to either integrate, specialize, or risk obsolescence. Greyhound Standpoint. According to Greyhound Research, Google's latest retail AI features are part of a deliberate play to own the full product discovery journey, from intent capture to decision nudging. This move challenges visual commerce startups that had banked on exclusivity in fitting and try-on experiences. While some firms may benefit via white label integrations or design partnerships, many will be under pressure to justify their standalone value proposition. Globally, we expect consolidation or pivoting among point solution providers, especially those not embedded into broader retail stacks. Greyhound Pulse Insight. Greyhound Digital Pulse 2025 shows that 44% of retail leaders across India, the US, and Southeast Asia are pulling back on licensing virtual try-on tech from independent vendors in favor of bundled ecosystem tools. Among those surveyed, 53% said they prefer features embedded natively within search or mobile OS frameworks, citing higher discoverability and lower integration cost. Greyhound Field Note. Per a recent Greyhound Field Note with an Indian fashion tech startup, the team reported a drop in daily active usage on their AR-based try-on feature after Google and Meta rolled out similar tools within native search and social services. Initially, the app saw strong engagement due to vernacular styling options and hyper-local influencer campaigns. But users now favor the immediacy of try-on tools embedded in platforms they already frequent. The company is exploring licensing their tech to D2C brands, but has found the B2B sales cycle slower and more price-sensitive than expected. Google's broader e-commerce playbook at I/O 2025. Greyhound Flashpoint. Beyond virtual try-ons, Google's I/O 2025 roadmap emphasizes distributed commerce, surfacing products contextually across search, Lens, YouTube, and Bard. Per Greyhound Digital Pulse 2025, 59% of retail CXOs globally now consider product discoverability inseparable from media consumption. At Greyhound Research, we believe Google is not just optimizing for commerce. It is redefining what ambient, AI-driven shopping means. Greyhound Standpoint. According to Greyhound Research, Google is cementing its role as a commerce gatekeeper by merging shopping capabilities with content interfaces. From YouTube Shorts to Lens-powered styling prompts, the company is shifting discovery away from merchant-owned channels and into its own multi-surface ecosystem. While this improves convenience for users, it also fragments the brand experience and reduces merchant control. Retailers must now rethink attribution, catalog parity, and fulfillment synchronization across Google's increasingly generative interfaces. Greyhound Pulse Insight. Greyhound Digital Pulse 2025 finds that 59% of retail CXOs across the US, Europe, and India expect Google's multimodal search stack to become their largest top-funnel commerce driver within 24 months. However, 41% cited difficulty in influencing visibility, personalization rules, and content ranking within Google native channels, raising concerns about platform dependency and pricing opacity. Greyhound Field Note. Per a recent Greyhound Field Note with a Southeast Asian beauty marketplace, executives saw a 22% uptick in user engagement after piloting Google's Lens-enabled product discovery. However, merchants struggled to control which SKUs were featured or promoted, leading to tension around catalog visibility and SKU-level attribution. While Google offered some tooling via Merchant Center, internal teams noted that controls felt insufficient compared to the levers available on Meta or Amazon Ads platforms. Who stands to lose? Platforms, SaaS players, or both? Greyhound Flashpoint. The fallout from Google's AI commerce tools is broad. Vertical SaaS vendors and social discovery platforms are both in the line of fire. Per Greyhound Digital Pulse 2025, 62% of SaaS leaders now view platform-native features as a direct threat to their offerings. At Greyhound Research, we believe the challenge isn't feature replication alone. It's the pace at which Google is collapsing retail workflows into its own surfaces. Greyhound Standpoint. According to Greyhound Research, retail SaaS firms in catalog syndication, fitment, and recommendation services face the most immediate impact. Google's native toolkits are eroding the perceived need for standalone software. Meanwhile, content-first platforms like Instagram face pressure as user attention migrates to multimodal, search-led environments that offer quicker buy flows. Retailers now risk being caught between commoditized point solutions and opaque algorithms from platform giants. Greyhound Pulse Insight. Greyhound Digital Pulse 2025 shows 62% of SaaS founders in the retail domain anticipate market consolidation in the next 18 months, driven largely by platform-native overlap. Separately, 49% of digital marketing leaders at consumer brands are reconsidering budget allocation between Meta and Google, with preference shifting to platforms offering end-to-end visibility from impression to checkout. Greyhound Field Note. Per a recent Greyhound Field Note with a US-based merchandising SaaS company, the team reported losing 3 major retail clients after Google offered similar smart tagging and personalization features natively through Merchant Center. While the company is now repositioning to specialize in high-ticket categories like automotive and furniture, leadership admitted that cross-category generalization is no longer sustainable without platform partnerships or exclusive data differentiators. Strategic consequences for the e-commerce sector. Greyhound Flashpoint. Google's I/O announcements signal a pivot toward what Greyhound Research calls ambient commerce, where AI isn't an add-on, but the layer through which all shopping begins. According to Greyhound Digital Pulse 2025, 71% of global retail CXOs expect AI to become the default interface for consumer journeys by 2026. The shift now demands not just digital presence, but AI orchestration across every channel. Greyhound Standpoint. According to Greyhound Research, the e-commerce sector is entering a phase where product, placement, and path to purchase are being refactored for AI-native contexts. Google's Bard, Lens, and generative summaries are already collapsing consideration and conversion into the same session. Retailers must now build adaptive catalogs, real-time fulfillment signals, and brand-aware experience layers. Those who don't treat AI as a central operating system risk fading into generic search outcomes. Greyhound Pulse Insight. Greyhound Digital Pulse 2025 finds 71% of e-commerce decision-makers believe that contextual personalization, AI-assisted checkout, and real-time product availability will be table stakes by mid-2026. However, only 38% say they currently have the infrastructure or org model to deliver these experiences across fragmented channels, pointing to a growing experience gap. Greyhound Field Note. Per a recent Greyhound Field Note with a European grocery retailer, the team attempted to link Google's generative recipe prompts with in-store inventory data. While the pilot helped surface bundled products via search, the merchandising and supply teams struggled to keep up with demand triggered by AI queries. Some SKUs repeatedly stocked out, while others failed to align with local availability. The company is now building a predictive demand model to better sync digital suggestions with shelf reality, underscoring how AI-led discovery must be matched with operational readiness. Analyst in focus, Sanchit Veer Gogia. Sanchit Veer Gogia, or SVG as he is popularly known, is a globally recognized technology analyst, innovation strategist, digital consultant, and board advisor. SVG is the chief analyst, founder and CEO of Greyhound Research, a global, award-winning technology research, advisory, consulting, and education firm. Greyhound Research works closely with global organizations, their CXOS, and the board of directors on technology and digital transformation decisions. SVG is also the founder and CEO of the House of Greyhound, an eclectic venture focusing on interdisciplinary innovation. Copyright policy. All content contained on the Greyhound Research website is protected by copyright law and may not be reproduced, distributed, transmitted, displayed, published, or broadcast without the prior written permission of Greyhound Research or, in the case of third-party materials, the prior written consent of the copyright owner of that content. You may not alter, delete, obscure, or conceal any trademark, copyright, or other notice appearing in any Greyhound Research content. We request our readers not to copy Greyhound Research content and not republish or redistribute them, in whole or partially, via emails or republishing them in any media, including websites, newsletters, or intranets. We understand that you may want to share this content with others, so we've added tools under each content piece that allow you to share the content. If you have any questions, please get in touch with our community relations team at connect@thofker.com.